General MacArthur drops a atomic bomb.
Alright everyone, so this is the start of our next playthrough of 1951. We are calling this Operation Backstop. We are on turn 1 for the communists, and the communists will be played by Airsoft Commando.
Eastern.
And he will take it from here and begin his turn. Right here at the mobilization chart as he makes his purchases and sets them down.
Alright, which means I need... Okay, because the camera's sitting on the chart. I'm just going to say that I spent 12 in minor, and that's ready to go. That way I'm not disturbing the camera. And then I will also grab... I can do 18... I could do that, and I think I will do that. So if I do 18, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a battleship. We are trying a different strategy. That's a cruiser. Where are my battleships? Oh, they're down here. We're going to try a different strategy this game, turn 1. So 18 out of a 25-point chip. I believe that leaves me with 7. And I think I will use that 7 to get myself... I could get a transport. But I don't think I will. I think I will get an infantry and an artillery. And that should get me... That should get me everything I need for turn 1 for the Russians as far as purchases. That way we keep up the... Oops. That way we keep up with, I shouldn't say fodder, but lower level divisions to burn up as opposed to my tank divisions, which obviously you want to preserve. And I guess we will move over here to China, of which I forgot where I put down, there it is, of which I have 26 to spend. Then we will do with those 26 something a little different. I am focused, actually, no, we won't. We will do, if we do a battleship, which is 18, and a destroyer, that is, no, we shouldn't. We're not going to be that stupid. We're going to grab a minor factory, and we are going to grab minor factory's 12 out of the 25. That leaves me with 13. So I will buy a jet fighter and have 2 left over. And that will end it for China as far as purchases. So we'll set that there. And we will also set, again, I dropped mine. There it is. We will also do this. We'll put everything away. We have 2 left over. We'll put that back up here. And we have 12 dedicated for a... Actually, since I took the camera off, I can just do this. To minor industrial. I can speak, I promise, chips. So there's that. Now, as far as attacks, we're gonna do something a little different here also. Now, the more normal strategy thus far has been obviously trying to sink the US fleet before it can escape and do damage. But I'm thinking instead of sacrificing the fleet to do that, we are going to try something a little different. So our strategy, yeah, that would work, and that way we take that away. So what we're going to do is this. We are going to take our transport, we're going to take an infantry and artillery, we are going to bring them over here, and we are going to attack and invade Guam. And that's with a sub and 2 destroyers. Now, the bomber can obviously take off and defend, but it uses its defensive value, which is only 1. But that way we have Guam, we take out that airfield, and we can base our own aircraft there, and I think that'll help a lot. My thought is, instead of building ships, we're going to try and control air power. Yes, I might spend a little more on IPC, but I can amass aircraft far readier than I can ships. This means I probably won't be able to take Japan, but we'll see. We're also going to take a transport, and we're going to land a tank. We're going to use our bomber. We're going to land our tank, and we're going to land an infantry. Where are all my red arrows? So thus far we have 1 attack there. Okay. I guess I'm moving it around. So, pardon me if there's any shake or wobble. So we're also doing this. So you can see I sortied there. At least it's kind of risky because I am not doing anything about the US fleet at the moment. I think it will end up paying off, but for now it's definitely going to be something different. We're also going to use the jet fighter because we can. And then we are going to do some ground attacks as well. None of our fighters can really make, this fighter can. So obviously we're going to attack there. So we have that going. We are going to attack, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can include that fighter in there as well. This fighter here. Oh, oops, we forgot to move that transport there. This fighter here will take part down south, and we will do this attack here, and we will also attack East Pakistan. We're going to try and full court press this a little bit if we can. Obviously we have this to finish off as far as a fight. As far as the Russian attacks, it's going to be a little different. The big thing is I don't want to do an attack until we do our diplomacy roll, because that will change a lot of how I go about this. But as of now, what we'll say is I will attack Turkey with my, that's Task Force 1, bunch of cruisers, destroyers, and we will send in these guys, this tank, that tank. So actually all these tanks will join in. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we will also attack right, because we have 1, 2, 3, right, and so we'll also attack with this tank, and that will go there, there, and we will actually push on Afghanistan. With this. So we're attacking Afghanistan that way. We're attacking Turkey. These infantry will also take place, obviously. This bomber is going to take part in this attack. I need another red arrow. As far as here, I need to re-review. Obviously, that army is taking place already. Where are the army markers? Okay, so this is what I got in front of me here. So the CSA. Oh, and the First Army, right. So that's already in combat, so I can't do anything about that. So there's no real combat that can take place this turn. I can... Actually, because that should win. The CA against the First Army, that should also win. I'm not too worried about that. So what I'm actually going to do is take these tanks, this aircraft here, and we are going to attack Yugoslavia. I think that's... I suppose I should put more red arrows down. So one red arrow here, one red arrow here. So don't think... Oh, I almost forgot. I could do that, couldn't I? I think I will too. So here, what I'm going to do is I am going to embark. How many ships do we have here? We only have one transport. Okay. We have a bunch of transports there. Don't have any cruisers, but we have some transports there. And it'll still, yeah, so here's what we'll do. We're going to take these guys. This tank will move up there too. So it'll be these two here. And those two transports. And then we have 2 infantry. That'll board here. And we will attack Norway. And it'll be supported by this jet fighter. But all these ships will move forward to take part in that. The destroyers and all that, the subs, just in case that airplane gets really lucky. So the 2-pronged landing. My goal with this is to try and get as many territories early game as I can and get some IPC boosts. And I do believe that's it for attack. So the next recording here will be us actually going through the diplomacy role and then obviously the attacks. One final note before right after I ended, I realized there's one other attack I could do. So I took units from Army Group South and I'm attacking Greece as well.
Alright, well let's start off. So we have the diplomacies for India and Turkey. So we'll start with Turkey.
Why not? Because that decides if the battle takes place, and obviously the battle will.
Failed. And then for India.
Ooh!
And there's a 1, so the Allies now have a chance to flip India on a 5 or 6 next turn.
This is feeling familiar.
Alright, so where do you want to start first?
Let's go right to left here. So obviously we have our Guam invasion. Might as well do that first.
So we have the invasion of Guam. So that's my 1 strategic bomber against a infantry.
There's
and
also there's a sea battle.
Oh, and there is a sea battle, that's right. So
you can just choose to have your bomber participate in the sea battle.
Yeah, that's true.
But it still only defends on a 1 because it uses its defensive value.
Yes. So that's our sea battle. Submarine, two destroyers against a destroyer and a strategic bomber. All right, so you'll roll 2 for 2. Sorry, no, yeah, the sea battle. So 3 for 2.
Nothing.
Misses. And then my bomber for 1. Miss. And my destroyer for 2. Miss. And I'm going to attempt to retreat.
Okay.
And let's see here. Oh, let's see. I can only go back. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to try and retreat my strategic bomber and my destroyer.
All right. Here's for the bomber.
Oh, he got it.
And here's for the destroyer. All right.
And the destroyer made it away.
The bomber's the one I really want.
But the strategic bomber got lost. Drat.
And
Okay.
now we have an invasion of Hokkaido.
Invasion of Hokkaido. So that is.
Are those cruisers or destroyers from the Russians?
Those are destroyers. So there's no pre-bombardment. So it's just an infantry and a fighter versus an infantry. It looks like what you got: an infantry, a tank, and a fight and a jet.
Yep. A bomber and a jet. Yep. So.
Oh, yep. And there's the bomber.
1 for 2. 1 for 4. 2 for 4. Hit.
Hit. So that's one. That's my infantry.
My rolls have been horrible.
So 1 for 2. Miss.
1 for 4.
1 for 4. Hit. So I killed your
Yep. Are
infantry.
you going to withdraw?
And I'm going to withdraw my aircraft to Japan. So try and roll.
Nothing.
Miss.
All right.
So my fighter made it back to Japan, but I did lose Hokkaido for a
You did?
loss of 1 IPC.
That's another one done.
So
Oh, that one can go off too. Moving right along, we have our. Oh, we have the attack in Singapore.
Okay.
We forgot about that.
So
one.
then we got the attack on Singapore, which is I got 2 infantry and a
And
fighter
against 2 infantry and artillery and a fighter.
against. 1 second, 2 infantry and artillery and a fighter. Okay, so you will roll 3 for 2.
That's true. It is 3 for 2. Come on. Oh my
Misses
Lord,
and then 1 for 3.
die rolls. Hit.
Hit. That's 1 of my infantry. I will roll, so 2 for 2. That's 1 hit. And then my fighter for 4. Hit. So that's both your infantry. Well, my infantry can't retreat. I think I'll try and stick it out.
Okay.
I won't retreat. So 1 for 2 and 1 for 3.
Oh my Lord.
Okay, and then myself 2. Miss 4. Hit.
Hit.
So
And
that's
it.
the end of the ground combat.
Yep,
so
the jet's gonna land back here.
Sato or the fire. Oh, wait. Okay,
Where's this one come from?
that was the one that was in the battle.
Oh, this one is from this one here.
Yeah. So the Sato holds on to Hong Kong. Okay, where to next?
This one here. So that's again 2 infantry.
Okay, 2 infantry and an artillery and a fighter.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see here. All right, so you got 3 for 2 and 1 for 3.
Yep. There we go. These are different die. This
Nope.
is,
And then 1 for 3.
I only my
That-
2s have
that's a
scored a
hit.
single hit.
And then and myself is 3 for 2. And I got no hits, so I'm going to try and retreat out of North Vietnam.
Nothing.
Miss.
And nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
All right, so my forces in North Vietnam are retreating to Thailand.
Okay, so that's going to see. And this one is gonna also.
Okay, and then we have. All right, then we got the Chinese attack into.
Pakistan.
All right, so then there's an attack in East Pakistan. So that's 2 infantry against 4 infantry and 3 artillery. Okay.
So 7 for 2.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's both of them. That's
Yep.
2 hits. Okay, so then I'll roll my 2 defenders. Both hits. So you lost 2 infantry on that as well.
Oh no. Okay. Slowly marching on. Next, Afghanistan, I suppose.
I suppose. So Afghanistan has a defensive army of
4.
Yeah, I think it's 4. Let's take a look. Yep, defensive army of 4, noted by the red number there. All right, so you got.
4 for 1 and 2 for 3, it looks like.
Okay, there you go.
1 hit.
1.
And then 2 for 3. 2.
All right, so he's got 2 left. So this is 4 for 2. 2 hits.
Afghanistan troops. There we go. Oops.
You're going from the wrong place.
Wrong place. There we go.
So now you got 2 for 1 and 2 for 3.
Yeah. I didn't think that was going to hit.
Misses.
Okay.
2 more hits. So now you're down to 2 tanks.
I am.
So 2 for 3. Or do you want to retreat? Boy, Afghanistan just doesn't want to
Give up. My die rolls first turn though have been abysmally bad. This is awful. No, we'll hold.
Alright, so Russia is retreating from the battle in Afghanistan. We will I'll go upstairs and grab like the Japanese pieces later or something so we can note that there's some defenses on there. Okay, so next is Turkey with their 8 defenders. I think we might have to move this one. I don't know if we want to move this one onto the battle board or not.
We can. That's a pretty big battle. Yeah. So
it's 1, let's see here.
2.
Wish I could get the battle board in the same frame.
8. Anya's factory fell over.
Okay. And then that's 2 fighters?
2 fighters.
Okay.
And
then I have 8 defenders.
This is Task Force 1, so I have 4 cruisers?
Yes, you'll also have 4 cruisers. So 1 second, let me just see. 1, 2. That's great. I'll just grab a bunch of pieces. They're all defending on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. There we go. 8 defenders. Alright, so then you have 4 cruisers, so you get the 4 offshore bombardments for 3 or less.
2 hits.
Alright, so that's 2 out of the battle right away. When we do in this version, when you shore bombard, the units don't get a chance to defend. They're just automatically pulled right off the map and are not part of the battle. Alright, so now you got 3 for 1. 1.
1, 2, 3, 5 for 3?
Yep. 5 for 3.
Oh, there we go. 3 hits.
1, 2, 3 hits, and then 1 for 4.
Nothing.
Wow. Okay, so then Turkey fires back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. 6 for 2. 1 hit.
I like
Abysmal. Okay, so now you got 2 for 1.
I do have 2 for 1.
Miss.
I wasn't really expecting
5 for 3.
There it is.
Alright, and then Turkey's 2 for 2.
1 hit.
1 hit. Oops.
Right. Everything else goes into Turkey.
Everything else can go into Turkey, and Turkey is taken for 2 IPC to the Russians. Alright. Now let's see, where do we move on to next? Greece. So Greece has...
Oh, we gotta go back.
Oh, for what?
We didn't do the Korean War. We didn't resolve the Korean War this whole time.
Oh, we did not. Yes, indeed, we did not. So that is 4 infantry, an artillery, a tank, and a jet versus an infantry, artillery, tank, and fighter. Okay, well, let's resolve the Korean War.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 2 for 1. Miss. 3 for 2. There's a hit. 1. And then 1 for 3. And 1 for 4. Wow. Okay.
Die rolls.
So let's see here. 2 for 2. There's a hit. 1 for 3. There's a hit. And 1 for 4. Hit. Aw. I think I'll try and stick it out. Let's see what happens. All right, so you got 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Oh my lord.
Out of place.
Hit.
There's a hit. 1 for 3 and then 1 for 4.
Hit. And 1 for 4. Miss.
Okay, so 1 for 2. Miss. 1 for 3. Hit. And 1 for 4. Hit. That's 2 more hits. So you're left with a tank. I'm going to try and retreat my fighter back to Japan. And he makes it. Alright, so China has marched into Korea with a single tank.
Heavy losses.
Heavy losses. But they'd already suffered enough losses when MacArthur bombed Manchuria, which we did not mark that like we normally do. So MacArthur nuked Manchuria. So now the radiation effects come in where units can't move into or out for a turn, and then they lose the IPC for 3 whole turns.
Hey.
All right, now going over to Europe.
Do Greece.
Going back to Europe. So we'll go back to Greece. So that's an infantry, 2 tanks, a fighter, and a tactical? Or is this infantry from Albania going to?
No, the infantry Albania is not.
Okay. So that'll be... You'll roll 1 for 1.
Oh my lord.
That's a hit. So... And then 3 for 3.
Hit.
And then 1 for 4.
Oh my lord. No.
Okay, so then Greece fires back with 4 for 2. 1.
Good.
Okay,
3
so
for
then 3 for 3. Reroll that. So that's 1. 1. Okay, and then 1 for 4.
Hit.
Alright, so that's all of Greece. Their 2 defenders.
Nothing.
Roll nothing. So Greece now falls into the hands of the communists.
Yes.
And now we shall go to... There we go. Yugoslavia. So that has a defensive army, I think, of, was it 5? 5? Alright,
So I have 3 tanks, 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, and a bomber.
Oh, whoops.
Ground attack. Tactical bomber. There we go.
1 second. We'll pull these off quick. Those ones are going to these are the ground forces for Turkey. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Yugoslavia defenders. You guess, and then, so you were going into that battle with what?
I won that battle with, here we go. More infantry, 3 tanks, and a tactical.
Okay, so you'll roll 4 for 1.
That I will. 1 hit.
1 hit. And then 3 for 3. Misses.
Wow.
And 1 for 4.
Hit.
Okay, then Yugoslavia fires back with 5 for 1. Or 5 for 2.
1.
That's 2.
2. Alright. 2 for 1. Oops.
2 for 1. Miss. 3 for 3. And 1 for 4. Yugoslavia, 3 for 2. Misses. Alright, so you again 2 for 1. Miss. 3 for 2. 3 for 3. Wow,
Oh,
missed.
my tanks haven't
And
hit a
then
single
1
time.
for 4.
Garbage. I don't get
2
this.
for 2, and this is the 3rd round, so this is it. And that's another infantry. That was 3 rounds of combat. So in this round of turn, Tito held out. He held out for a turn. So that is Yugoslavia. Still remains neutral in a sense, though he's been attacked and has survived.
Survived barely. He won't live next round.
More than likely not.
Okay,
So we'll have to remember. So Afghanistan has 2 defenders, and Tito has 2 defenders.
Correct.
I'll just put 2 chips right there for now.
We have
We'll
Austria
clean it
to
up.
deal with.
Okay, so the Soviet Central Army right here is going to attack the 3 American infantry divisions in Austria. All right, so that is 2 for 1. This is 3 for 2. Oh, whoops. 2. So that's 2 of the Americans, and then 2 for 3.
2 for 3. Yep.
And then,
2 hits.
There you go. And then my 3 for 2.
1.
1.
I'll take
Darn it. That looked like it was going to be 2 for a second, but it ended up not being so. So Austria is now in the hands of the Russians.
I mean, then we have the first American army up there.
Yep, and then we have the battle for Berlin. So the U.S. defenders here versus the massive German army here, or the massive Soviet German army there. Oh Lord, let's see here. So that's, what is that, 6? That's 9 for 2.
I like those. I like those a lot.
Sorry.
2 hits. I get to roll 3 more. Yeah, get back here. 2 more hits.
That's all of them. Okay, so then that's 3 for 2. 2
All
hits.
right.
And
Not
then
ideal.
1 for 3. Miss. So, the U.S. First Army in Berlin is destroyed and comes off the map. These units are dead. Make a dead pile somewhere soon. Oops. Got a dead pile started up here, so clean that up. All right, and then what's next? Is it just your invasion of?
I think I took 2 losses on them.
Yes, you did take 2 losses. And then what is it? Just your attack on Sweden?
I think that is the last battle, yes.
Yes. All right. So we got the Battle of Sweden. You have, what is that, 2 cruisers?
2 cruisers, and then I have,
And 2 infantry.
no, I have 2 infantry and 2 tanks up there as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So roll your 2 for your offshore bombardment. This
Nothing.
is, so that's 4 for 1.
It is indeed. 2 hits,
2
all
hits.
right.
Okay, so that's my infantry and tank.
2 for 3.
And then 2 for 3. And that'll probably get my fighter.
Hit.
Yep. All right. So 1 for 2. Miss. 1 for 3. Miss. 1 for 4. Okay, I got 1 of your infantry.
Yay!
All right. So that's, I think that's all your combat.
That is all my combat.
So why don't we quickly, we'll take a pause here quick. We'll clean up the map a little bit, and then you can do your
my non-combat.
your non-combat. So we'll clean up the map quick, and we'll be right back.
All right, so basically, for a non-combat, what's going to happen here is I'm basically going to consolidate everything. With my failure in Yugoslavia, I'm going to move everything into Group South, into North,
Stay a little bit longer, a little bit.
Center. What's that?
You can stay a little bit longer.
All right, on. Apologies. So we have basically South, Army Group South is consolidated in Army Group Center at this time. Pretty much everything, the same thing's gonna happen with all these. The one thing we agreed on here is I can't move my jet fighters into a newly conquered territory. But what I can do... Hello! It's going. And what I can do is move all that in. I'm not going to be able to move, like I said, my jet fighters at all, which is kind of a bummer. I can, however, move my fighter and add that one in. Oh, this fighter, though, can't take part. Like in this, because it took part in the fighting. So those have to fall back as well. The Eastern Ukraine attacks, probably they will go into Eastern Poland. So the goal here is to just slowly get all these troops moved forward, is the idea. A bunch of aircraft all over the place that really can't take part in anything because they already did attacks. And so it is, such as it is. We're gonna take this tank, since it didn't take part in anything, and they are gonna go into the Caucasus. This artillery is gonna move into Kazakhstan. As you can see, we're gonna get ready to do our next attack. We have our atom bomb aircraft, and that is going to move 1, 2. Oh, maybe we won't move it there. We'll move it here, actually. We're gonna have to start, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make this south basically an air army. Because everything that did attacks can make it back there. Except for that Ukraine fighter, I believe. So we'll kind of move everything into there. And that way too, because it borders a nearby territory, all of this can respond because it's on an airfield. I believe that was there, there, there. All right. Yeah, we'll consolidate that more because I had the bomber go back to, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it can make it. All right, fantastic. So I said all this moved up as far as it could. The tanks are also going to move, but they are going to move to Finland. This artillery is also going to Finland. The infantry is going to go south, as is the artillery. We do have this one. Get out of here. We have this one that's also going to go here. That's infantry. Alright, so we gotta change this up a little bit. Alright, so take that one out. I have 2 infantry remaining. And just counting here, if I go 1, 2, no. So we're actually gonna move our airborne troops over one as well. And that should do everything there for as far as Russia's concerned. This attack fighter. Was this attack bomber from? Probably from here because I didn't lose any in combat, so it's gotta be where it is going. All right. Now, anything else that needs to happen here? Right. That's all dead, so we gotta clean that up actually. It doesn't have to be there. I gotta move my subs, but I gotta get a pencil first. So we're not gonna worry about that either. So all we're gonna do is move this actually 1, 2. Same with this is gonna go. I can't go through Manchuria, so we're gonna go 1. Oh, that's a bad idea. They could invade. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna leave 2 here, and we're gonna move. No, we're not. We're gonna leave that there. It's a good defensive force. We'll leave 2 down there as well. So this thing here is gonna get replaced by another Chinese unit. So 2 defenders. These I think I already moved. I hope I did. I don't think I dropped them anywhere. I think I did move those. I gotta double check down that. If I didn't, then I'll move that in a second. I think that is it for consolidation purposes here. So we'll take a break until I get my pad and pencil so I can make these subs disappear. And then I can also get my purchases deployed. Alright, so the final end of my turn here is my subs have been moved as far as the east side. Both subs were committed into combat on the Pacific end, so they cannot move anymore this turn. We have our... Oh, that's done. Everything's consolidated. I deployed a minor factory to this one, so now I have an extra place to build troops, just in case things get desperate. Or what happened last game is I went through here as Sato and ended up coming this direction, so now I kind of have a way to build. So that's done and ready to go. I put the jet down in Kangxi. I further consolidated because I noticed I had aircraft that were here that I could have moved here, so I just moved everything into this aircraft, this air army. This aircraft was hidden. The battleship went to Fleet 1. The infantry and artillery went to Poland. I think that's Poland. And that should be it. Oh, and the minor factory was put down in Hungary. So now I got kind of more of a base to build equipment. And next turn, I will probably put down another factory down in Germany. My strategy this time is, instead of bleeding out all of my resources and having nothing to back it up, is to build a huge manufacturing base right behind the line so I can keep moving things in and keeping things supplied. So I'm playing this a little different, kind of off the seat of my pants this game around. But I'm hoping it'll pay off. The India thing going into a 1 is probably going to be a catastrophe for me. Not taking Yugoslavia turn 1 was also kind of horrible. But Turkey's in my hands. I'll put a factory down there next turn. And we'll kind of push... We will probably push into... I don't know if we'll push into Syria. We'll probably push into Iraq at least, just to get that +2. So, look forward to communists next turn.